Thank you for joining, everyone. My name is Alex Bralo. I'm on the marketing team here at Pareteum. Today, we'll be presenting a webinar on the Pareteum Experience Cloud. The presentation, which is titled Keeping the World Connected, will cover the various ways the Pareteum Experience Cloud facilitates connectivity when it counts. Our presenter today is Mehul Vora. He is the Vice President of Sales Engineering at Pareteum. Now, before I hand off to Mehul, I would like to take care of some quick housekeeping. The presentation, which will be recorded and made available, will take approximately 30 minutes with time set aside at the end for questions. To avoid any technical issues, we will not take questions during the presentation. So if you would like to ask Mehul a question, please enter it in the question box and he will answer it following his presentation. If your question goes unanswered, we will save it, forward it to a team member, and they will follow up with you directly. So thank you, and without further ado, I would like to hand it off to Mehul.
Thank you, Alex. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Hope you all are safe wherever you're joining from. My name is Mehul Vora. I lead the sales engineering team at Pareteum, and I will be taking you through our webinar today. So at Pareteum, our mission is to connect every person and everything. And this has never been more relevant than present time, when we are all learning to cope with life in lockdowns to fight COVID-19. We're stronger and better together, connecting with our friends, families, loved ones, and business associates gives us the strength to get through this difficult time and restore some normalcy to our daily lives. Global connectivity that allows employees to work remotely, businesses to keep their employees and customers informed, migrant workers and travelers to stay in touch with their families back home, and connected things to keep global trade and logistics moving is all very invaluable in this present time. Pareteum is uniquely positioned to meet this demand for global connectivity that we see today. Our Experience Cloud solution combines a cloud-based communication enablement platform with a global mesh of cellular and Wi-Fi network connectivity. We build bespoke connectivity solutions for our customers to deliver specific experiences that their businesses require. For example, in response to the current COVID-19 outbreak, we've seen a sharp increase in the uptake of our Experience Cloud messaging solution. Now, the near complete disruption of our daily lives in recent months has resulted in growing need to stay informed. Governments need to keep citizens informed on the latest advice on fighting COVID-19. Businesses and brands need to keep their customers and employees informed on how they plan on operating while in the lockdown. Schools and universities have to keep students informed on the plans for tutoring, exams, and homeschooling. But there are many different channels available today to stay informed, including social media, email, web, and many others. But with open rates in excess of 90%, SMS messaging remains the most effective channel to inform. The SMS messaging is also very adaptable to different approaches, such as marketing campaigns and promotions, appointment reminders, communication with remote staff and field staff, notifications, multi-factor authentications, and many others. Now, although it is the oldest channel in existence, it still has the most potential with wider and more real-time reach compared to any other channel. Our Experience Cloud messaging solution provides SMS messaging for both B2B and B2C channels. An example is A2P messaging, where we partnered with a leading developer of early warning information and communication systems. They used a messaging solution to deliver critical messages and reports in near real time. Now, this service is used to alert organizations about risks that could impact their employees, customers, supply chains, and mission-critical stakeholders. Our A2P messaging solution has full campaign management functionality built into it, so it serves as a single point for building end-to-end messaging campaigns with quick time to market advantage and global reach. But there's more to Pareteum than just messaging. In fact, our USP is in our ability to deliver many different connectivity experiences from a single global cloud-based platform. Amongst other things, this cloud-based global experience cloud platform delivers mobile voice and data for consumers and enterprises, CRM and contact center solutions, back office operations and business support systems for large carriers, incumbent mobile operators and fixed line carriers, billing systems, global IoT connectivity over both cellular and Wi-Fi networks, and different location-based services. So let's look at how these apply to different verticals and market segments. Now let's first look at communication service providers or CSP segment, which is the first of the three key market segments for Pareteum. Our heritage at Pareteum lies in the CSP space. Experience Cloud was first visualized as a platform that would expedite access into the wireless communications market for new entrants, which in turn facilitates deeper and wider connectivity globally. In the heavily regulated wireless communications market, the new entrants often come in the form of MVNE and MVNO service providers. In order to be successful, they must ensure swift and economical launch of their mobile service brands. Furthermore, with switching the usage profile towards content-hungry data services over the last decade or so, the MVNE and MVNO service providers must also ensure a flexible back-office system that offers them more agility and flexibility in creating different commercial offers and packages that truly deliver better value for money to consumers and enterprises compared to what is traditional offerings from incumbent service providers. Experience Cloud delivers all of the above by combining our global smart network connectivity with location-based service management platform. A smart network combines global mesh of cellular and Wi-Fi connectivity. Cellular connectivity is spread over 200 plus countries and territories. Wi-Fi connectivity comprises of millions of commercially curated secure hotspots, millions of public Wi-Fi networks, open hotspots, and in-flight Wi-Fi access on over 5,000 aircrafts from 40 leading airlines in the world. Now, layered on top of the smart network coverage is our intelligent network selection topology called Smart Connect. Smart Connect uses a policy-driven approach to ensure best possible network connectivity at all times based on users' location and service needs. So all that while keeping the network costs down. Now, let's take an example. When a senior executive of an MNC is roaming abroad, the assigned service profile to their account could mandate a secure connectivity experience at all times. Now, if they are in vicinity of an open insecure Wi-Fi hotspot, this network policy would keep device connected over a more expensive but also more secure cellular network. And it'll only connect to Wi-Fi if a commercially curated secure Wi-Fi network is available. On the other hand, take example of an MVNO subscriber, a consumer, who's traveling abroad on vacation and wants to keep usage costs such as roaming charges down to minimum. Now they can have a different service profile assigned, which connects to all available Wi-Fi networks to save on very expensive roaming cellular data usage charges. Now, in addition to cellular and Wi-Fi networks, we've also added support for LPWAN technologies such as Narrowband IoT and LTE-N to facilitate efficient connectivity for IoT devices, which we will review shortly under another market segment. But there is also support for other proprietary technologies such as Sigfox and semi-proprietary technologies such as LoRaWAN. Now, the smart network plumbs into our cloud-based service management platform that enables multi-vendor management of communication services. with inbuilt multi-tenancy, which facilitates multi-operator, multi-brand service management for MVNE service providers. The platform provides granular visibility and control with bespoke reporting, statistics, and alerts. And this aspect is crucially important for multinational CSPs who contract services centrally, but oftentimes require delegated regional service management structure for local service monitoring and control. So this is how Smart Connect, along with the cloud-based platform, comes together to form an end-to-end comprehensive service stack for CSPs. And we do have several case studies and success stories for many different CSP deployments. Perhaps none of them more relevant than Vodafone Spain, who is our largest customer worldwide, who've deployed our Experience Cloud solution for MVNE services, which also runs their own secondary B2C brand called Lowy. Lowy is the most popular MVNO for 3 consecutive years, and it has higher Net Promoter Score, NPS score, compared to Vodafone's own primary B2C brand. Before launching MVNE with our Experience Cloud solution, Vodafone had limited ability to launch new MVNOs, and they were also churning a significant number of subscribers to new market entrants and existing competition. With the launch of their MVNE service, they launched their own secondary brand, Lowy, and significantly reduced the net subscriber churn to competitors. This new brand has also allowed them to offer new products in the B2C space and also put in place a more flexible and robust customer management service, which has resulted in a higher Net Promoter Score. The MVNE service is today serving in excess of 1.5 million subscribers, which is made up of Vodafone's own secondary brand as well as several other MVNOs. And we are already working with them on many other projects such as enable 5G services and other projects. We also have CSP customers who have deployed Experience Cloud technology for several other solutions, such as contact center and CRM solutions, programmable IVR and voicemails, unlimited Wi-Fi network connectivity. We also have delivered SIP trunking for PBXs and enablement of fixed line broadband services. So Lowy, as an example that I mentioned on the previous slide, actually uses our platform to combine the fixed line broadband services as well as the mobility, consumer mobility services into unified bundles and packages. So that was the first of our 3 market segments, which was CSP. Now let's look at the second market segment, which is large enterprises. The Experience Cloud powers 3 main connectivity services for large enterprises. The first of them is what we call Enterprise Managed Mobility Solution. Now, most large enterprises often struggle with managing multiple services, cellular services, as they are often sourced locally rather than centrally. So they have multiple service contracts. Now, over time, it becomes difficult to manage multiple service contracts because they each come with their own service management and inventory management systems. Also, employees often connect to insecure Wi-Fi networks to procure expensive Wi-Fi connectivity solutions in order to reduce their cellular data usage costs when they are roaming. Because most organizations and enterprises are always under pressure to cut their operating costs. The Experience Cloud addresses these challenges with a fully integrated cellular and Wi-Fi connectivity service that we reviewed earlier in the CSP section. Through a centrally sourced multi-country connectivity, the enterprises achieve increased visibility and control over the global connectivity footprint, while improving employee productivity and reducing the connectivity costs at the same time. Now, it is, of course, also possible for enterprises to consume cellular and Wi-Fi connectivity services completely independently of each other if they do not require both. We do have a large number of enterprises who currently use our Wi-Fi connectivity services on their own without combining them with the cellular connectivity. The second service for large enterprises is global Wi-Fi as a benefit under brand loyalty and rewards program. An example of this is premium credit cards that are available from many banks and financial institutions that include premium Wi-Fi network connectivity as a benefit or a perk to the cardholder. Premium Wi-Fi connectivity is a very valuable benefit for most users because we are always looking for better ways to stay connected. And this oftentimes results in improved brand loyalty and customer lifetime value. By offering the Wi-Fi connectivity experience through Smart Connect SDK, which can be baked into the consumer apps that these brands often provide to the consumers or their customers, gives an opportunity to gain actionable customer insights and location data, which can then be curated to build personalized offers and also create new marketing campaigns. The third service for large enterprises is global IoT connectivity, which we will review in the next market segment. So the third and the final market segment is IoT and smart cities. As more and more industries go through digital transformation, new IoT and mobile broadband use cases are developed, and more devices become available for niche IoT use cases. The need for global cellular connectivity has become critically important. Experience Cloud delivers a global smart SIM service with multi-network, multi-country connectivity for IoT and mobile broadband use cases. Based on eSIM compliant technology, which is 100% backward compatible to a large portion of currently deployed IoT devices, the smart SIM service can be deployed anywhere globally and programmed remotely to deliver most optimum connectivity experience through a policy-driven approach. Unlike consumer devices that require very high levels of bandwidth consumption, most IoT use cases require very low levels of bandwidth consumption. Also, perhaps the most important aspect of lifecycle management for battery-operated IoT devices is to save power consumption as much as possible to elongate the service life for these battery-powered devices. Now, these two factors acting together, they've led to development of new LPWAN technologies, low power wide area network technologies, for cellular networks to provide long distance connectivity with extremely low power consumption. 2G, 3G, 4G are all great, but they are very expensive from resource point of view for these low powered IoT devices because of the radio technology is quite power hungry, and they are optimized for higher bandwidth consumption rather than lower bandwidth consumption. So narrowband IoT and LTE-M are the two LPWAN standards that have seen rapid adoption over a very, very short span of time because they do provide this long distance connectivity with extremely low power consumption requirements, which is ideal for IoT use cases. So the Smart SIM service, it works with 2G, 3G, 4G, and LPWAN radio technologies. And this is so because many of the deployed IoT devices they were deployed more than 5 years ago, and they probably only have support for 2G radios. So the service itself is 100% backward compatible with existing devices. And in the Smart SIM service, you can have different service profiles that can be defined, each with their own list of defined countries and networks and radio technologies that are allowed to connect to. So it gives full control to the enterprises and IoT service providers who are using this technology to control how the connectivity service is consumed by the IoT devices. That's on the connectivity side. But to manage this smart SIM connectivity, we also provide connectivity management platform, which is called CMP, which delivers end-to-end connectivity lifecycle management with multi-level hierarchy, which is necessary for resellers of IoT connectivity. The different capabilities that the CMP provides, they include web-based white label portal, customer and partner management, product catalog for IoT connectivity, So you may have a bunch of different IoT devices. Some may only require data services. Some may require data and voice services. Some may only require SMS services. You can completely configure what your product catalog would look like. You can have asset management capabilities to monitor and manage all the devices, subscription management, connectivity management, rating and invoicing engine. So you have full end-to-end billing, kind of a wrap around the IoT service, logistics management, analysis and diagnostics, usage visualization, and notifications and preventive alerts. So that was the Smart SIM connectivity along with the connectivity management platform. An extension of that, Pareteum is also involved in several smart city deployments, where Experience Cloud provides the network intelligence and policy management layer to drive different connectivity services, such as smart meters, sensors, smart industries devices, and many, many others. So to summarize, Experience Cloud is the only single source cloud communication enablement platform with limitless scale and control, and world's largest unified global network for cellular and Wi-Fi connectivity. We have a proven track record of successfully delivering our solutions to some of the largest CSP customers, such as Vodafone and Liberty Global, enterprise customers such as Google and SAP, IoT customers such as KF Smart City and Things Wireless. Please reach out to us and let us know how and where we can help you to get better connected during these difficult times. Whether you are a CSP willing to enter new markets and you need a platform that can help you do that efficiently, a large enterprise looking to reduce your cellular and Wi-Fi connectivity costs while improving employee productivity, an IoT service provider or a large enterprise in need for global IoT connectivity solution, or any of the above in need of a messaging solution, we have a solution available for you. So thank you again for listening to this webinar today. Have a great rest of the day and stay safe. And we now have time for Q&A, and we can perhaps start with the questions we've received over the chat.
Yep. So we have one question from John, who asks, what makes Pareteum's technology so unique compared to other companies? What advantages do they have? And then also, what is the future?
So what makes us unique? It is, as I was explaining earlier, the combination of having global connectivity footprint of not just cellular, not just Wi-Fi, but a combination of cellular and Wi-Fi networks, and then a cloud-based service enablement platform. It is these two components that work together in unison to provide different experiences that customers require. Now, oftentimes what you see is you've got platform vendors that have cloud-based platforms that can be deployed to deliver a multitude of different services. And you can reach out to tier one fixed line and wireless service providers, and they can provide you global connectivity. But then you've got to piece these different things together, and you've got to sew them together to build a unified service. And that is exactly what Pareteum Experience Cloud provides. So the customers don't need to do that heavy lifting. We've done that for you. So we've built this global connectivity footprint of cellular and Wi-Fi network and married it with the cloud-based enablement platform. So we could have a customer that starts day one with an MVNO service in one country, one geography. And over a period of time, they could then leverage on that by expanding into other markets, such as they can start offering messaging services to other CSPs in that market. They can grow vertically, and they can start offering IoT services. Talk of an enterprise, day one, they may start with a Wi-Fi connectivity service. Over a period of time, they may add cellular connectivity and combine both together, and then also introduce IoT down the line. So there's a different elements of expanding into different areas become possible by having this mesh of global network connectivity and cloud-based platform.
We have another question from Steven. He asks, does this functionality compete with Twilio and Plivo? And I believe he's talking about SMS.
Yes, so individual elements of our overall solution set would compete with point solutions. So Twilio, as you mentioned, we would kind of compete with them in some segments or areas such as messaging, etc. But when you look at the end-to-end capability and the reach that we have, not across one segment but 3 different market segments, that what kind of sets us apart. Individually, I think we need to have a detailed discussions. We've got subject matter experts that can talk to you about exactly how we differentiate ourselves against Twilio or whoever else that you may be considering or you may have come across in the past. And we can give you a one-on-one analysis of how we would be better coming to Pareteum rather than going to one of our competitors. So obviously that's a detailed conversation for a follow-up discussion.
We have a question from Bill who asks, can a user choose or select a network not part of the smart network if they so choose? And is this choice done inside the traditional phone Wi-Fi settings?
Short answer to both the questions is yes. So as I was saying, we do take a policy-driven approach to providing best possible network connectivity. If that happens to be outside of our smart network mesh, then that is certainly something that we can layer into the cloud platform. As much as possible, we leave the connectivity let me rephrase that a little bit. So the smart connect technology that I explained earlier, it determines policy-driven approach for ensuring most optimum connectivity experience across both cellular and Wi-Fi networks. Now, if you so wish to leave that decision down to the device, which would always have a strong preference for Wi-Fi compared to cellular, then that is completely fine. We can basically just define the network policies in such a way that that decision is not taken in the network, but it's left down onto the device itself.
We have a question from Josh who asks, are there plans to add visibility on Pareteum's website for developers or potential customers to poke around with APIs? And Twilio provides this sort of thing on their website.
Yes, that's a great question. I am not aware of any imminent plans, but that is certainly a very good idea to do that. So thank you for that question, actually, because that's a great input for our marketing.
We have a question from Mark who asks whether they can get any visibility into the currently active users the Pareteum platform is supporting.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I grasped that question. Say it again, Alex.
Mark asks whether they can get any visibility into the currently active users on the Pareteum platform.
Okay, I'm not sure how to answer that. I'm not sure what platform is being referred to, but certainly, I mean, it requires a follow-up discussion because if we can understand what service Mark is referring to, then we can have a conversation about what level of visibility is possible, is being currently given, and what improvements can be made to it.
All right. Bill asks, can the smart network be installed on the device itself at the Android operating system level, or is it a traditional Google Apple app? In other words, will it work for a given geography with no internet access, or is internet access required? How is the Experience Cloud updated, Wi-Fi or MNO network?
Yeah, so there are a couple of different approaches here. We do provide an app, a consumer app that sits on the device. It can work in offline mode. because it will certainly cache down a policy set locally on the device itself. But then again, if you are looking at the app to manage connectivity, it's not going to manage connectivity if the device has no connectivity. So it's a bit of a logical and or type of question. But certainly the app sits on the device and it can have a policy set cached locally on the device. What we also optionally offer is an SDK route, as I was explaining earlier. So if the customer or the brand have an existing consumer app, then the SDK itself can be baked into the consumer app. We also have done some work for some of our customers whereby we actually burn the SDK in the device memory itself. So you don't need an app at all. It basically is baked into the OS itself. So those are the different approaches that are certainly possible with Smart Connect technology.
Okay, we have a question from Carl who asks, why is single source so important?
This is based on the feedback that we get from our customers and enterprises, CSPs, service providers, all of them. What becomes very difficult over a period of time is to have multiple different relationships, contracts. They each come with their own different service management tools. It becomes very, very difficult. And no matter what is the profile of the enterprise, it becomes very difficult for them to manage it and maintain it over a period of time. They're always looking for simplification. They are always looking for leveraging the investments that they made in the existing contracts. So any possibility that they can find in working with a provider that can help them source the different connectivity services centrally, they kind of find that of great value compared to the traditional method of sourcing different services locally through multiple different contracts. So this is 100% based on the feedback that we get from talking to our customers.
We have a question from Vibov who asks, the Wi-Fi Smart Connect, is the Wi-Fi Smart Connect only for enterprise or individual users as well? And are we selling this to individual users?
Yes, so the service today is only available in B2B channel. So it is available for enterprises or CSPs. We do not offer it in a B2C channel. So we do not directly sell it to consumers.
We have a question from David who asks, how important is 5G versus 4G to the Parade customer?
5G is going to open up a plethora of different use cases and open up new markets that we have so far not even anticipated or thought of. So the answer to that question is it depends on the customer profile. To a CSP, 5G is extremely important. To an enterprise, to an IoT service provider, 5G may not be that much important. Also on the CSP side, what I would say is so far, there's a lot of hype around 5G, as there always is when there's a new device or a new technology is incumbent. But the killer use cases for 5G, I don't really think too many people have thought about them just yet. There are some bandwidth hungry applications that would certainly benefit tremendously from 5G. But from consumer point of view, I think we are good 12 to 15 months away from seeing much of a value add from 5G introduction.
Vahe asks, are you going to provide iPaaS SDK for iOS and Android platforms to start up free?
Sorry, Alex, there was a little bit of a lag there between your and my audio. Repeat again.
Okay, Vahe asks, are we going to provide iPaaS SDK for iOS and Android platforms to startups for free?
To startups for free? No. Short answer is no. It won't be for free. SDK obviously is required to embed our technology into the different use cases. So no, we don't, and we won't give it away for free.
We have a question from Ryan who asks, is the Experience Cloud considered as a disruptive innovation technology? And is the product easily replicated by any competitors?
Is it disruptive? I wouldn't necessarily say so. I would say Experience Cloud opens up new markets rather than disrupting existing markets. The kind of capability that Experience Cloud brings, they're not been available through any other medium before. So I wouldn't call it disrupting technology. I would call it more an enabling technology that opens up new markets. Can it be easily copied? Again, the answer is no, it can't be copied very easily because it takes a lot of time and kind of a technology element to combine different service components together into a unified service set. And that's not something that you can do overnight.
All right, we have a question from Shad who asks, will satellite integrations be possible?
Yes, we view satellite network connectivity as just another medium of connectivity. We certainly have had many conversations with different CSPs over the years about doing that. For some other reasons, the business case never quite stacks up, so it has never materialized. But yes, from platform point of view, we're really technology agnostic for the underlying connectivity, so it is certainly a possibility.
We have a question from Bill who asks, how robust is your Experience Cloud from an API perspective? Could it be integrated seamlessly with a RESTful JSON OSS BSS app?
Yeah, the short answer is yes. In fact, that is one of the key kind of fundamentals of our platform architecture, which is we provide an extensible API interface that is very, very easily integrable into external third-party components. Now, look, we take a very pragmatic approach. We understand and expect that most deployments that we would do, we would come across a very heterogeneous environment. There are only so many kind of greenfield deployments. So we are going to have to integrate our platform into external platforms, whichever direction you look at. So we do consume a lot of APIs from third-party platforms. We have our own API interfaces with to expose to third-party platforms. So yeah, it is extremely integrable into external platforms.
We have a question from Carl who asks, can the cloud switch from Wi-Fi to mobile and vice versa during conversations?
Yes, it can seamlessly switch from Wi-Fi to mobile and vice versa. On the, I mean, without going into too much detail, there's a lot of work that has been done in this area. So like voice over LTE, voice over Wi-Fi technologies are all about, which is to support the seamless transition from one connectivity technology to another. So yeah, our platform fully supports that.
Okay, we have another question from John who asks, how much of your market share is based in the US compared to the rest of the world?
I am afraid I'm not able to answer that question. I wouldn't have any figures to hand, so I apologize for that. I would say this, that we're fairly distributed between Europe and America. We've got a very strong Wi-Fi business in the US. We also have a very strong CSP business in Europe. Now, what the exact split is in terms of market share, revenue share, I wouldn't be aware of that. Sorry.
We have a question from Patrick, who asks, are any of the new MVNO service providers in the US looking at your solutions? If so, what services are they looking at?
Yes, we do have a lot of conversations going on. In fact, we do have a very successful and thriving MVNO business in US. We do have a large number of MVNO customers there, ranging from probably around 5,000 kind of seats on the lower side to around 50,000 seats on the higher side. We do also have several conversations going on with much larger brands in other markets who are considering entering the MVNO space. The conversations are a little different depending on who we speak to. It is consumer mobility services, mainly prepaid services. One aspect of the MVNO service that a lot of attention is being paid to right now is eSIM availability. So our US MVNO service actually does have full support for eSIMs. Other than that, 5G is another big discussion point for new MVNO entrants, because they all obviously want to have a roadmap in place for when they would introduce 5G connectivity. So I would say, yes, lots of conversations going on. We do already have lots of MVNO customers, and the two big discussion points I would say are eSIM compatibility and 5G.
All right, Mehul, looks like we have quite a few more questions, so I think it might be best to, if we wrap it up and reach out to the question askers directly. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, thanks again, everybody, for your time. Thank you for dialing in. Hopefully you walk away with some useful information. And as I said, to reach out and let us know where and how we can help you. So have a great rest of the day and stay safe.